Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Woodcraft Kitchen. So I figured I'd share another recipe with you guys. My wife makes this pretty often. You can hear Sarge in the background. And it's absolutely delicious, and I was never a big fan of, some of these ingredients, one in particular. But as she kept making it, and being hungry, the more I ate it, the more I actually liked it. So I figured I'd share it with you again. The fire going already, so that's looking good. Tripod's all set. And we have some things here that we'll talk about in just a second. So just some things that you're gonna need for this recipe. Obviously we have some cabbage, an onion, one larger clove of garlic, some celery, a pepper, and then some ground turkey. And again, I was never a big fan of this. More of a beef guy myself, but it's pretty good. For spices, I have some in my Moore's bush pot here that we'll dig out in a minute. Then we've got some ground ginger, some paprika, some chili powder to taste, depending on how spicy you want it, and then just some olive oil. So first things first, take some stuff out of our bush pot that I typically keep in it. Just a little bit of oil, that's usually in my pack anyway. Chain, and I don't think I mentioned this in that, I think it was the second video on cookware. Went through all the different pots and pans, cast iron, stuff like that. Hanging things from your tripod, a lot of people use paracord, some people use bank line and nylon rope, whatever it is. These small chains tend to work out a lot better for obvious reasons. You don't have to worry about the fire getting too big and losing your pot or what have you. So the chain is definitely handy for that. Then I just have some spices here, salt, pepper, garlic, and Old Bay, and then my coffee and tea, obviously. So we'll use some of that salt and pepper in this. But first things first, this is 1 pound of ground turkey. We're only going to use half of it because we've got a small bush pot here. And you can certainly cook this in any type of pan as well. Be it cast iron, stamped steel. You could do it in a crock pot or some sort of slow cooker, obviously. So I'm just going to use half, like I said. But we need to get this in here and get it browned up over the fire first things first. We'll take that, throw it in the pot with some oil. And I'm just going to add some salt and pepper to this as well. Just enough oil to cover the bottom of the pan or the pot so it doesn't burn or stick to it. And then again, I'll do some salt and pepper. And I apologize for the wind, guys. Pretty windy today. A little bit of pepper, a couple pinches of salt. I'll get that right on there. So the other good thing about these chains is it allows you to adjust your height, and we know we can do that with the tripod as well, but this gives you some fine adjustments or larger ones if you need it without having to move the tripod, so that works out well too. I already hear that sizzling. Alright, so now just cut up our vegetables. Again, this is just a small half of a cabbage, so we're going to shred that up. Do our celery next. That was pretty easy. Just cut off that browned end, chuck it. And just one stick of celery. My wife doesn't always put this in there, but I like it, so. Got our onion. This is just one small onion. I can remember in one of my other videos quite a while ago, kind of got the devil about how I cut up an onion. I'm definitely no chef or professional cook, but I've been known to whip up a couple good dishes. So nothing fancy on this. Don't want to cut it up too small. So that's pretty good there. And then our garlic clove. Pepper. Alright, there you have it. So see if that turkey's browned up yet, and keep an eye on that, and then we can add all the rest of this. Like I said, easy adjustment here with the chain, so I can go ahead and lower that now. Seeing we're just waiting on this to add our other ingredients. Adjust my fire. And actually go ahead and move this over just a little bit. And again, just let it brown up. We can add the rest of our ingredients, all vegetables. So they hold a lot of moisture, obviously. So when you brown the meat, we just do the vegetable oil, brown the meat up, and then just add the vegetables. You don't need any other liquids or anything like that. And eventually, all this is just going to be steamed vegetables on top, and you stir it occasionally, obviously. So we'll let that brown up and add the rest. What we have so far. Now we can add the rest of this stuff. And the vegetables obviously are going to get smaller as they cook, so there should be plenty of room, all said and done. Now what I will do, extra little drizzle of olive oil on the top. Then we can add our spices. So just a little bit of chili pepper, or chili powder rather, excuse me. Some paprika. Let's get the shaker. Again, not too much of that. and then some ground ginger, and again just a bit of that, and then some more salt and pepper. Pretty good hefty pinch of pepper. Couple pinches of salt. Get that back on the fire. Alright, just took it off, still steaming. Let's get some of this on the plate. Little salt and pepper as a finishing touch. Man. I already want some. So yeah, ground turkey or turkey cabbage stir fry, absolutely amazing. Like I said at first, I was like, I'll cook something else. But as my wife made it over and over again, and I started to eat it, it's actually very, very good. And if you're one of them ones that do the gluten-free thing and all that, this is one of those meals, so good one to try out if you haven't done so already. I'm gonna take a bite. Awesome. Wow. Yeah, and again, you know, easy to do in a pot. Certainly you can do it in any type of fry pan or slow cooker or anything like that. It's absolutely amazing. So I appreciate you joining me for another video, and hopefully we'll catch you soon with another one. Take care.